Right now in Nevada, we are seeing more adults having a mental health crisis due to many different stressors. When someone is experiencing a mental health crisis, they are not thinking clearly. Sometimes they aren't able to keep themselves safe, care for their basic needs, or they might even be a danger to others. A mental health crisis can happen to anyone, and when it does, it can be scary and confusing for the person experiencing the crisis, for the person's loved ones, and for professionals who don't work with mental health crisis on a day-to-day basis. By the end of this short educational video, brought to you by the State of Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health, you will have a better understanding of Nevada's process for caring for someone experiencing a mental health crisis and needs protection. So what is a mental health crisis hold? In the past in Nevada, this process has been called L2K or legal hold or legal 2000. However, during recent legislative sessions, the official name has been changed to reflect exactly what it is, a mental health crisis hold. With a mental health crisis hold, a person who is at risk of harming themselves or others or cannot care for themselves and is at risk of serious injury, illness, or death can be held for medical treatment unwillingly for up to 72 hours. When can a mental health crisis hold start? When someone is a danger to themselves, a danger to others, or are unable to care for their basic needs due to mental health symptoms. A few examples are a person experiencing depression who tried to end their life, a person having hallucinations who tried to kill someone because they thought the person was a demon, or a person experiencing severe paranoia and is refusing to eat or drink because they think someone is trying to poison them. If someone is experiencing these or other types of mental illness symptoms, there are specific professionals who can start the mental health crisis hold process, such as psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers, and law enforcement officers. The state of Nevada uses a legal document called the Mental Health Crisis Hold Packet, which consists of 4 parts. The first step in the hold process is for one of the specific professionals to start the hold. The 72 hours starts at the date and time the first section of the hold is finished. Professionals doing this first section should be detailed in describing the person's actions and anything else they see. Instead of writing, "the person is suicidal," they might say, "the person said they have nothing to live for. They were found on a bridge about ready to jump. They have given away their belongings and left a goodbye note for friends and family." The person in crisis will be taken to a hospital or mental health facility. When someone on a mental health crisis hold gets to the hospital will need to check that person for safety and see if they have any serious medical needs that need to be handled right away. This is the second step in completing the hold and is called the medical examination section. This section is done by a licensed medical professional who is checking to see if the person is or isn't medically stable. The third step is the review by a mental health professional to see if the adult meets the list for a mental health crisis as written in Nevada law. In the legal hold packet, this section is titled Certificate for Emergency Admission to a Mental Health Facility or Hospital. This section says that specific medical or mental health professionals have checked the person and agrees that they need to be on the hold for their own safety or the safety of others. So what can someone expect during the 72 hours? While at the medical facility, the person will be placed in a part of the hospital where their needs will be taken care of. The healthcare team will meet with them to determine their medical and mental health needs, which could include vital signs, diagnostic tests, and labs. They will also help the person get to the best treatment setting if needed, such as specialized psychiatric hospitalization. Sometimes the person's mental health crisis can be stabilized during the 72 hours. If a person is no longer a danger to themselves or others, the 4th part of the form can be completed by specific health professionals. This section is called Certificate of Release of Person on a Mental Health Crisis Hold. When a person is stabilized within the 72 hours, the healthcare team will help connect them to outpatient mental health services and begin getting them ready to leave. Many people will not need to go to a specialized psychiatric hospital, but for those that do, the process can take anywhere from several hours to several days. Some people will experience mental health crisis for longer than 72 hours. During these situations, before the 72 hours ends, the healthcare provider asks the court to extend the hold. If the 72 hours is set to end over a weekend or holiday, the provider has until 5 p.m. on the next workday to petition the court. The court schedules a hearing within 6 days, not counting weekends and holidays, and gets an attorney to represent the person. During that time, the attorney will talk to the person and go over their options. The court may have its doctors meet with the person as well. If at any time during the mental health crisis hold process a person or their loved ones are worried the person's civil rights are being ignored, they can contact the Nevada Disability Advocacy and Law Center at 1-888-349-3843. We hope this brief video has helped you to better understand the mental health crisis hold process in Nevada. For more detailed information and resources, brochures can be found at nvbh.org/involuntary-hold. Nevada strives to protect a person's individual rights and provide caring treatment during a mental health crisis. Helping people, it's who we are and what we do.